but we don't know their acts. We see their action, but we don't know their reaction. That smile in my face, I want to stop me on my back. Ooh, yeah. I wouldn't sheep clothing, yeah. Who want to tear us apart? Who wanna come and be violence? I'm gonna come out my room, yeah. Hey, I say you enter in the UP and you chop like them. You enter in the ALP, you scatter them. But then you enter in the LP, then you divide them. And now you want to play with the CPP document. But today you want to come expose you some more. And every eyes will watch and see and know. Say the truth will reveal. Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. Mr. Bengy man, the truth will reveal. Mr. Finger man, the truth will reveal. What is deep in them heart, deep, deep, deep down inside. Oh, I sing the truth will reveal. I Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. I Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. Or Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. What is deep down in them heart, deep, deep down, down inside. Say, high profile gladiators want to come and use us. Political juniors, them want to come deceive us. You pay the newspapers and to lie for you. You pay the radio stations and to lie for you. Oh yeah. So they wanna do is take us from the room and teach us their own truth. Yeah, I say, you figure district number 9 by election, Grand County by election, Mapulu midterm senatorial election, and don't forget the name back and the primary report. I say the truth will reveal. Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. We got to expose them all. The truth will reveal. Mr. Finger man, the truth will reveal. What is deep in them all? Deep, deep, deep down inside. Oh, I say the truth will reveal. I Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. I Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. Or Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. What is deep down in them all? Deep, deep down inside. Hypocritical juniors fighting to divide us with them lies in disguise. Rastafari's, the truth. The truth, oh yes, the truth.
Master LC on the beat.
Let me tell you, saying the truth will reveal. Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. Mr. Bengy man, the truth will reveal. Mr. Finger man, the truth will reveal. What is deep in them heart, deep, deep, deep down inside. Oh, I sing the truth will reveal. I Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. I Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. Or Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. Oh, say, I say we look in their faces, but we don't know their thoughts. We see their action, but we don't know their reaction. That smile in my face, I want to stop me on my back. Ooh yeah, I wouldn't sheep clothing, yeah. Who want to tear us apart? Who wanna come and be violence? I'm gonna come out of my room, yeah. Hey, I say you enter in the UP and you chop like them. You enter in the ALP, you scatter them. But then you enter in the LP, then you divide them. And now you want to play with the CPP document. But today you want to come expose you some more. And every eyes will watch and see and know. Say the truth will reveal. Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. Mr. Bengy man, the truth will reveal. Mr. Finger man, the truth will reveal. What is deep in them heart, deep, deep, deep down inside. Oh, I sing the truth will reveal. I Mr. Liar man, the truth will reveal. I Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. Or Mr. Kaya man, the truth will reveal. What is deep down in them heart, deep, deep down, down inside. Say, high profile gladiators want to come and use us. Political juniors, them want to come deceive us. You pay the newspapers and to lie for you. You pay the radio stations and to lie for you. Oh yeah. So all they wanna do is take us from the root and teach us their own truth. Yeah, I say, you figure district number 9 by election, Grand County by election, Mapulu midterm senatorial election, and don't forget the name back and the primary report. I say the truth will reveal. Mr. Lion man, the truth will reveal. We got to expose them all. The truth will reveal. It's nowhere Mr. Finger man, the truth will reveal. What is deep in them all?
Liberia! It's your day!
Tama Corporation is hosting the first ever heritage and cultural reality show called National Heritage and Cultural Challenge. The National Heritage and Cultural Challenge is a reality show organized by Tama Corporation, enabling us to explore our culture through entertainment. At the same time, you could stand a chance to win the grand prize in the amount of $38,000 United States dollars. Teammates will be grouped into 15 teams representing the 15 counties in Liberia. Each team will consist of 5 members, with each team member having a specific role. A traditional chef to cook all the juicy local dishes, a beauty queen or king to showcase how beautiful, inspiring, and unique our Liberian culture is, a dancer, singer, storyteller, you name your talent to be on the show. A smart man, that one man who is certain of his knowledge of the county and the Liberian history. Lastly, our warrior, who will be ready to fight and protect his county at all costs. To avoid weekly eliminations, each team must perform and win traditional games or tasks given to them.
And the live auditions, January 25th in Kanta, the 26th of January in Kakata, February 2nd in Bikino, February 4th in Morovia, and the final
Monrovia, Gettysburg, it's time to celebrate with the big boys. You want to bamba? You want to tea with the big boys? So join us this and every weekend, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, as we chill with the big boys. Then the big one comes out on February 11 and February 14 as we celebrate the Valentine's Day as Wookiee Special Lovers Night. And on February 11, come in your green as we celebrate the gallant men and women in arms and our fallen heroes on Armed Forces Day at the Wookiees Farm. Gates open at 12 noon till the break of dawn. Have a night in our cozy chalet for as low as $85 and have a breakfast and unlimited time in our pool. And for that VVIP, for only $150, you get 1 bottle of red wine, 2 breakfasts, 1 lunch, and unlimited time in our pool. Come along with the kids this and every weekend and on the Valentine's and Armed Forces Day at the Wookiees Farm. Take advantage of this offer this and every weekend, and to spice it up, visit our local bar. Yatta's Guiding is now open for that local drinks. Why don't you visit us at Wookiees Farm in Gettysburg? Taste our finger-licking grilled fish, pizza, and varieties of food. Wookiees Farm is back again. Come and chill with the big boys this and every weekend and on the Armed Forces Day and the Valentine's Day. I'll catch you there. You want to
Lopus Kitchen, a Liberian-owned business operated by Johnson and Wales University's trained chef Joyce Matowia, is your dining away from home. At Lopus Kitchen, we prepare all kinds of Liberian cuisines, including fried and rare oil potato screen, kidney beans, palava sauce, fever leaves, and a lot more. We also make rice bread, meat pies, cookies, Benesi candies, and all kinds of pastry products. Place in your order online today from anywhere in the US. www.lorpukrtchen.com. The good news is your package is sealed in an insulated cooling box and reaches your destination well preserved and fresh. Save yourself the stress and order the best from a professional chef. Lopus Kitchen keeps your fingers licking.
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
Hey folks, today is Monday, the 21st of February 2022. The time in Monrovia is precisely 7:30 a.m. The time in Delaware is 2:30 a.m. And we're very glad to be here. And it's a brand new week, brand new day. Good morning, Walker.
Yeah, good morning, Costa, and good morning to our many listeners. It's another week, like you said, and it's good to be here.
All right, folks. A couple of things we're going to be looking at this morning, some very important, interesting topics. Share the podcast on Facebook. If you're just tuning in, we're coming to you on a number of platforms, online platforms for people all over the world. I've got a story on the EPS director. I reached out to him to hear his side of the story. And you know the good thing? He didn't deny the story completely. He just said it is not as I heard it. But it's a bad story. EPS director Trocon Roberts. I pray for the day that people would get dismissed and prosecuted for the kinds of things that people do in Liberia and get away with it. I pray for that day. Ego, when will we have a leader that will take action for such a thing, that people will be scared to even do such a thing? So I communicated with him. I gave him the opportunity. He wanted to lie initially. First he said nothing happened. Then he said, well, something happened, but not exactly as you were told. Then I sent him some of the evidence, photos, which I will post later on. And I will tell you the story, folks. It's just very, very bad. Also, we will be talking about the congressional delegation visit to Liberia. They are visiting a number of countries, They're visiting Liberia, they're visiting Sierra Leone, they're visiting the Ivory Coast, and I believe another country, Tanzania, or something like that. And the statement that was put out by the delegation about their visits to these three countries, to these four countries, the statement is something to read. You know, many of our people read, but they don't quite comprehend. One of the things I endeavor to do is to read and comprehend. When you read a statement about why they are coming to Liberia and why they are going to those other countries, in Liberia is the only country where they talk about, we're coming to Liberia to have a roundtable discussion with the government to discuss accountability and governance issues. Ooh. I go into Boga Kamara's house to discuss how he beats his wife and how he doesn't take care of his children. But then I'm going to Henry Costa just to say hello. Hello. Okay. Do you understand the point I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm going to Boga Kamara's house to discuss with him about the bad behavior, the way he treats his children and his wife.
Yeah.
But as for the visit to Henry Costa, we'll be having a discussion on how we can work together to expand opportunities for more businesses, for more this, for more that. Oh, So that only Boakai on a visit, you get to say what he went on to the mayor for. Only the bad thing, when it comes to Boakai, that only the bad thing we can say.
Only bad thing you can talk.
Yeah. But anyway, what should interest you is that Congressman Gregory Meeks is not small potato. Congressman Gregory Meeks is the first black man to occupy the chairmanship of the all-powerful Committee on Foreign Affairs in the United States House of Representatives. Waka, do you know what the Committee on Foreign Affairs is? It's one of the most powerful committees in Congress.
Responsible for all foreign related issues.
They're the committee in the House that preside over foreign affairs, U.S. foreign policy. In the Senate, it's called the Foreign Relations Committee. In the House, it's called the Foreign Affairs Committee. They are not called the same thing, but they do the same thing. Gregory Meeks is the first black man. He's the representative from the 5th Congressional District of New York. He's a black man, African American. He is the chairman of this committee. Gregory Meeks, hello, listen to me, is the man, and he was elected to this position in 2021, last year, the first African American to sit on this powerful committee as its chairman. Gregory Meeks is the guy who sponsored the Congressional Resolution 907, among other things, calling for more sanctions, targeted sanctions on officials of government. Well, Babs, you did not understand me. Who did I say Gregory Meeks is? So Gregory Meeks is not the buddy of the government. He's not their friend. What did he do, Bagai? Gregory Meeks is the sponsor of Resolution 907. This is a resolution that calls for a number of things, and among other things, under item 3, it calls on the United States Department of the Treasury, the U.S. Department of State, to continue to impose targeted sanctions on Liberian government officials. Hello? So the man that's coming to Liberia, heading this delegation, is not a friend in that sense. Well, he's a friend of Liberia, but he's not drinking buddies with the government folks. He's the man calling for what, more sanctions. You remember during the war, they used to say more mortar.
More mortar, yeah.
He's the guy calling for more mortar. He's the guy coming. And on this committee, this delegation that he's coming with, are several of the co-sponsors of Resolution 907. He's got 4 of them. But listen, the people who's coming with him, the people who are coming with him, right? 4 of them are sponsors. Co-sponsors of the resolution. You know, I remember when Gregory Meeks got appointed, got elected to that committee as the chairman on foreign affairs. So Jefferson Pipipa Gucci Clan Koji had apparently met him before, not met with him, but met him. You know, there's a difference between met. Okay, I met Boakai and I met with Boakai. You know, there's a difference, Boakai. Do you know that? When you meet someone, hold on, Boakai, listen to the difference. You know, English important. It's sweet when you know. When you meet someone, like I went to a program, and I ran into you in the hallway, and I stood with you, and we took a picture. That is meet. Oh, I met Boakai, or I saw Boakai. That's meet. Now, you know the other one? I met with Boakai. That
special occasion.
It was planned. Oftentimes, it was planned. It was a sit down. It was a discussion, a conversation, and it was intended. It was not accidental. So there's a difference. So when people meet somebody, you say, "Oh, I met with John Brown." You did not meet with John Brown. You met John Brown in the hallway, or you met Paul somewhere. That's not the same. But our people confuse it. But anyway, when Gregory Meeks got elected to the all-powerful congressional committee, Jefferson Koji went and posted a picture that he had taken with the guy and said, "Oh, congratulations to my friend. I got the post. Congratulations to my friend on your election to the historic, your historic ascendancy to the blah, blah, blah." You know, somebody post for Koji. Koji can't write good, so somebody has to do his posting. and when I saw the post, I was laughing the other day when Gregory Meeks sponsored the resolution, the congressional, the resolution from the House calling for the sanctions. And I said, "Oh, but Koji Gufre, calling for sanctions on Koji them." Yeah, the man he said I a good friend, but I want to
the man begin enemy of the state.
Yeah, but the boys are stupid. What makes you think that Gregory Meeks is your friend? Gregory Meeks has read your file. Gregory Meeks is not your friend. He's not your peer. You can't even speak English, and you say Gregory Meeks is your friend. How you and he can communicate? Like Kissy, you can be speaking to him. You think Gregory Meeks that your mate can't post picture because you took picture with Gregory Meeks, you can't post a picture can't talk about Gregory Meeks and congratulations to my friend Gregory Meeks. Your friend who? Gregory Meeks? What? Gregory Meeks is the one. And they're arriving in Liberia today. 4 of the delegation members are co-sponsors of the resolution calling for sanctions. Targeted United States Department of the Treasury sanctions, targeted United States Department of State sanctions. So they're not coming to Liberia to lecture. They're not coming to Liberia to drink beer with George Weah. In their statement, they said they're coming to discuss accountability, the issue of accountability, and the governance deficit in the country. Serious matter. Now, these boys are coming after they have already called for more sanctions.
More sanctions.
How do you think the government will look at them, Waka?
Well, you know, they always underestimating things, Costa. Even at Bokan, they want to take them from here, there, other to say they are good in the eyes of the Americans and the people, the Liberian people love them so much. They ain't doing anything bad. They want to take them from this hotel to this hotel. But the people will not be focusing on that. American men, they come to do their work, and that's just what they will do. Nothing more, nothing less. So you taking them from this hotel, speaking BB books or whatsoever, my brother, forget that thing there. The men can't do their job.
Precisely. So they will be in Liberia today, the congressional delegation, and they're not going to be staying long. They're going to meet our people and they're going to tell them, "Look, my man, look, bottom line is you guys need to stop stealing. We tired advising y'all. Sanctions are coming. Whether you're lucky, you're not lucky. That's what the delegation is coming for today. They're not coming to Liberia to visit with George Weah, to drink beer, or to listen to them sing, to chant pro slogans. They're coming to tell them that trouble is coming. That's what they're coming to tell them. Trouble is coming. We've talked and talked and talked, and you don't listen. Trouble is coming. That's why the delegation is coming to Liberia. Now, let's move on to something else here. RRA. Royal Air Maroc. For those of you who know Royal Air Maroc, the airline, I stopped flying with them, and I think I will never ever fly with them again. And I have my reasons. Royal Air Maroc, but this time it's not their fault. What I'm about to share with you. Royal Air Maroc was on his way Saturday morning. You know when they lands at RIA, right, Baka? It's early in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock.
At 3 a.m.
Yeah. So Royal Air Maroc was airborne, bound for RIA. That means if I say airborne, you don't understand it, it was in the air. Bound, that means headed for Liberia.
Coming to Liberia.
Going to Liberia. So at some point, I'm told just about 10-15 minutes before the plane touched down. Listen to this, folks. This is a serious matter. Just before, at this time, the captain had announced that they were in descent mode. When the plane is about to arrive at its destination, then what to do? They begin to what? Descend. Yeah. They're reducing altitude. They're descending. Listen to the story, folks. Royal Mara flight headed to Monrovia Saturday morning, 3 a.m. The plane is, look, Janga F. Connect, go turn your device off and put it back on. Look at my tuning off. The tuning is not off. Some of your technology not for y'all. To talk, you're too annoying, man. How many times will do class on it here? When you wake up in the morning, don't just go to the app. Refresh the app. Go in, come out. Go in, come out. Talk it, man. Move from here. Talk it. Yeah. So, my brother, listen to this story, Walker. Royal Morocco. The plane is 15 minutes from landing. And then the captain announces, folks, we're sorry, we cannot continue our descent to Liberia because we've just been informed that there is an electrical problem at the airport. We cannot land. There's no electricity. Jesus, you're 10 to 15 minutes away from landing. And then the captain announces that you cannot land, or they cannot continue the descent to land because there is no electricity. What does the captain do? The captain says, we're turning the plane around.
Wow.
And we're going to the nearest airport in Freetown, Sierra Leone, because they have stopped in Freetown, right? They're going back. So we're going back to Freetown. Okay? They turned the plane around and they went to Freetown. Oh. Yes. They went to Freetown. They got to Freetown before one of the passengers that I know, whose name I will not call, got word from the people at the airport who were waiting for him to pick him up, the airport from Liberia and from RIA.
Yeah.
That the light had just come back on. At the airport. Baga, we're laughing, but this is serious stuff. This is a dangerous thing, Baga. In this day and age, your so-called international airport, electricity goes off and the plane cannot land and it has to be rerouted to another country. They got to to Longi International Airport and they landed. This is Freetown, Longi. And they landed to put the passengers down. Some of the passengers, 12 of them decided that were headed to Liberia, decided that they were going to come to Liberia by road. Because Royal Morocco said, we're not going back to Liberia because I think the flight only goes to Liberia 2 or 3 times a week. They said, we're going back to Casablanca. So the people said, then the airline folks said, then, if you want to go, we can take you back to Morocco, to Casablanca, Morocco, but we're not headed to Liberia anytime soon. Jesus. These people had to rent vehicles and they drove from Longi International Airport all the way to Liberia.
Look at that.
Yep. Luckily, on the Sierra Leone side, the road is paved. From Longi all the way to the Liberia border with Sierra Leone, the road is paved, all the way. Folks, this is serious. Let them deny it at the airport. Now, let me tell you something. When they got to Sierra Leone, before they got to Sierra Leone, they announced that they were low on fuel.
Look at that.
That the plane was low on fuel. The moment they got to Sierra Leone, luckily for them, the Sierra Leone, the Longay International Airport was still open. And they brought the fuel truck. They called for the fuel truck came, and they refueled the plane. The fuel was low. Okay. Suppose when they got to Longay, one of the workers at the airport at Longay told them that, hey, you know what? You guys are lucky. We were just about shutting down the airport because they were not expecting any more flights. All right?
Wow.
Yeah. Longay was not expecting any more flights. So they told him, hey, you guys are lucky because we're about to shut down the airport. We're not expecting any more flights. There's nothing on their radar. That's what happened, Walker. So they refueled, and the plane turned around and went to Casablanca. Walker, but for this kind of thing, people need to get fired. You run an international airport, you run a whole country. Electricity is so bad in the city, in the country. So bad. We're not even talking about that this morning. But Walker, at the airport, your only airport, international airport.
Because normally what happened at the Rabat International Airport is that once it's after 12, like they're not expecting any airline at that time, they shut down the entire airport. Where it's like 1 to 2 o'clock when they're getting prepared for a Royal Air Morocco that normally comes in at 3. That's the time they come back on. And prepare for Royal Air Morocco.
You shut down an airport.
That's what happened.
You should never shut down an airport. You should never shut down an airport, Baga, is you never know when a flight will be in a distress.
Sure.
A nearby aircraft might be in distress and might need to come to your country to land. You understand? You never know. That's why you should never shut down an airport, because you never know. You should never shut down an airport. Some plane somewhere that was headed to somewhere might be in distress, and they might need to come to land. And then what? Only to find out that your airport is shut down? This is embarrassing. This is dangerous, extremely dangerous, and people will not get fired for this. That is the sad part is nobody will lose their job. So what happened? How many generators you got at the airport? 1 generator? Was it off? How many generators? You got 2? Did all 2 of the generators suddenly shut down at the same time? Nobody should ever shut down an international airport, guy.
I'm telling you.
Because of electricity. And you know, the people said, look, they were trying to contact the control tower. After this person I know who was on this flight told the people that, hey, you know what? They said was trying to contact the control tower in Liberia. After the rerouted to Sierra Leone, the control tower, the people could not reach the control tower, The control tower could not be reached. How could they make their way back to Liberia to try to see where they could put the passengers down and go to Liberia when the control tower could not be reached?
But that could be another expensive on the part of the airline, Costa.
Of course, the airline didn't plan to do that. This is ridiculous. They're coming from Casablanca to come to Monrovia to put the passengers down. Then they have to reroute. They have to go back 10 minutes before the land. Because there is no electricity at RIA. Jesus Christ. Like, I tell you all the time, we are the most useless country you can find anywhere on the planet. I tell you, sometimes you think that, oh, the boy doesn't like his country. Look at the way he talks. Liberian people, we're not a serious people. And one of the biggest problems with our country is that there are no consequences. People do the most terrible things and they get away with it. Nobody loses his job. Nobody gets punished. And that is exactly why Liberia continues to remain it is. Impunity. If you are the airport boss, you are the managing director of the airport, and a plane, an international flight, gets rerouted Because you didn't have electricity at the airport, you're fired. Okay? You're fired. You're fired. This is nonsense.
They are there
Absolute
making free
nonsense.
money. Free money, making free money. Every passenger that come in and out, you paying 50 USD.
You can
for
keep
coffee.
electricity at the airport. Why are we such a useless people? What is it with us Liberians? The whole world is doing good. All the countries around us, they are doing good. Why are we such a useless people? Electricity in the city doesn't work. Electricity at the airport is unreliable. There's some citizen called George Widow. He's always on Facebook. He's on our live podcast all the time talking nonsense. He and his wife were in Liberia recently. Guess what? They were supposed to be on that flight. George Widow is sweet for you. You citizen. I'm sorry, stupidician. This guy is a stupidician. He's always making noise. Defending George Weah. Anything Weah does. Weah can murder you, said the guy will say, well, you deserve to die. He and his wife were supposed to go. They were supposed to be on that flight. Guess what? The flight turned around and went to Freetown. George Weah is sweet for you. It's sweet for you and your wife. You understand? Come on the live video this morning and defend the government. He's mad that he didn't get to return because the plane didn't come to Liberia. The plane went to Freetown.
Yeah, but because
all the passengers, all the Royal Emirate passengers that were sort of get picked up from RIA, guess what? They had to go home. Look at a very odd hour you gotta be at the airport. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then the plane doesn't come because there's no light at the airport. Then you got to drive back to Monrovia and wait for several days. Can you imagine that, Waka?
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Because what? You belong to a useless country. That is why you have to face that. This is just so sad. I said, why George Widow? You go come and meet George Widow. Let him come here the morning. Let him come defend a government. George Widow, a very, very, very stupid fellow. He's always here defending the government. Defending the government. Now he and his wife. I'm sorry for a poor wife. I don't even know whether she's a stupidician like himself. But he's a certified, bona fide stupidician. George Widow. I guess George Widow is wondering how I knew that he was meant to be on that Royal Emirate flight to return to Australia. That's where they live. He and his wife. They live in Australia. They were on their way back. Huh? Jesus Christ. What kind of country is this? Nothing works in this damn country. Nothing works. Nobody gets punished when something bad happens, such as this. Absolutely nobody gets punished. Now, folks, we're going to come back to the truck and robber case. The thing I told you I got on the EPS bus, truck and robbers. This guy ordered the flogging of a police officer. The flogging. I got the picture. They dragged the police, the CSD commander. CSD is the Criminal Services Division. They used to formerly be called CID. You remember what guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was present. He ordered the woman to be dragged. I will give you the full details. I have the picture of they dragged the woman. The woman was wearing, normally the CSD people don't wear uniform.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
The Criminal Services Division officers don't wear uniforms. They wear plain clothes. And they tore the woman's clothes. Okay.
Wow.
They dragged the woman and tore her clothes. And you know why EPS bus program robbers did that? Because his cousin had some rice that she shouldn't have had, and they arrested the rice. And the cousin called him. Hey, Liberia, that's Liberia right there for you. The cousin called him, and he went there with 6 armed EPS agents or officers. They went there. And this is how he reacted. This is how he reacted. Yeah. Had the woman dragged, disgraced. And the people sent me the whole story and they sent me the picture. I reached out to him. Initially, he denied the whole story. When I confronted him with some of the facts or pieces of the story, the report I received, then he said, okay, it happened, but not exactly the way it happened. Then I confronted him again with the picture of the woman at the drag and her torn clothes. Then he suddenly went completely quiet. That boy never said another word. Yeah. I have it and I'll post it. Drag the police woman. Hey, Liberia. And we'll talk about it. We're going to post the pictures. We're going to do all of that. But choking robbers, nothing will happen to him because this is Liberia. It's a useless country. This is Liberia. Welcome to Liberia. Now, before we go there, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the ANC versus ALP through the representative by and through the government of Liberia. The case, okay. So Alice Cummings is expected to appear in court today to testify.
There you go.
Under oath. Today, Alice Cummings is expected to appear to take the stand to testify today under oath. Yeah. He's going to be examined, cross-examined. They're going to do all that kind of stuff. That's what's going to happen. They're going to put him on the stand today. It's interesting. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to watch it because Cummings said he didn't want the kids to try covered. He won that. So we will see what happens. Now, has he produced a framework document yet? Not yet, but it is expected that he will take the stand today to testify. Now, folks, let me go to the Trocan robbers case, and then we're going to go to the phone lines and take some calls. This is interesting. Trocan robbers, EPS. This is a guy who worked in the United Nations system. This guy, as a security personnel. This is a guy. So, on the 10th of February, 2022, officers assigned at RIA Depot 5, this is Shuffling Town, Maghibie County. I know where that depot is. They arrested 7 bags of condemned unwholesome rice. When they say condemned rice, blogger, you know what that is, right? The rice is bad.
Very
It's not
bad.
supposed to be sold by anybody or bought.
Yeah.
They arrested a vehicle carrying 7 bags of condemned unwholesome rice. And the rice, the 7 bags of rice, they had the rice in a black Chevrolet SUV, bearing the license plate number A66183 on Thursday, February 10th, 2022. I've got all the details. Hold on, folks. I'll give it to you. In the vehicle were 2 ladies. Okay? These 2 ladies were identified as Miata Hima and Mary Johnson. These 2 persons, of course, were believed to be persons of interest. They were believed to be the owners of the condemned rice. And so the police were asking them questions. This rice is bad rice. It's not good rice. Where are you taking it? Where did you take it from? The 2 of them admitted that they had the rice, that the rice belonged to them. Mieta Ima and Mary Johnson. Now, several days later, about 6 days later, on February 16, 2022, during the morning hours of that fateful day, the director of the Executive Protection Service, EPS, Trocan robbers, he went to the RIA Depot 5 along with 6 well-armed EPS officers and 1 So he had 6 men and 1 female. 7 in total, well armed, drunken robbers. Went to the depot. 6 days later. Listen up, guy. He got there. And drunken robber ordered that the commander, in person of Augusta K. Siongbe Tawin, he ordered that the rice be released. Release the rice. Token robbers go elite job as director of EPS. Huh? Tasked with the responsibility to protect the president's body.
Yeah.
He go there to go fight for dirty rice. Parker, you listen to this story here?
Look at how low.
Yeah. Drug around once he can't balance the rice. He go fight for 7 bags of dirty, condemned rice, bad rice. Drug around went to the police station 6 days later, February 16, 2022, in the morning hours. He carried 7 EPS officers with him, 6 men, 1 female, all of them well armed. He gets to the depot and he asks, who is in charge? Where is the CSD commander? They say, oh, yeah, the girl commander. CSD commander Augusta K. Siongbe Tawin. He backs out an order to her. Release the rice with immediate effect.
Power.
The lady said, no, we are investigating. When the woman said no, Chokamara releases order to his men. He released the order. He ordered his men to drag the lady to his car. When he got there, Bagay, he was sitting in his car and he was giving the order. He sent the order. He was sitting in his vehicle, his official government vehicle, giving the instruction that the rights be released with immediate effect. Okay. So when the people said they're not going to release the rights, then he ordered his men to drag the commander, Augusta K. Siongbe Tawin, to his car. My brother, I'm sending you the picture of the woman right now. They dragged the woman. This is a woman. The CSD commander, okay? It's a woman. It's a female. They dragged the woman to his vehicle. Check your phone, okay? Do you see the picture? Do you see the picture?
Trying to go there quickly.
Yeah, they dragged the woman to his vehicle. I don't know. Your other WhatsApp now, which one? Roberts. This is a guy who is supposed to be a decent fella, right?
Yeah. I just
He
seen
is
it.
supposed to be a professional. The people say they want to see the picture too. You know how people did. Y'all can see the picture? You see the beehole in the woman trousers?
Seen it.
Yeah. Look at folks. Folks, if you can see the picture of the CSD commander, you see, after the drag her, that hole you see in her, the thing. If you can see it, tell me, yes, you can see the picture. There's
Yeah,
the
for me, I
woman
can see
standing
it.
up. Trogan Roberts, EPS commander, ordered the woman dragged. Somebody's wife, a police officer, a female, they drag her, tore her trousers. You can see the trousers. I will post the picture. stole her trousers. Somebody's wife. And that son of a swan trucking robber had the guts to tell me, oh yeah, yeah, it happened, but another way it really happened. And so, yeah. There you see it, folks. Now you can see the picture. You see the hole in the woman's trouser?
Yeah.
Almost up to an area where you could see her underclothes. Where they tore the trousers up to her thigh. Up to her thigh level. To her hip. Not thigh, to her hip level. Almost where you could see the woman's underclothes. This is what Trocan robbers did. George Weah's EPS boss. This is what he did to this woman. Augusta K. Siongbe Tawin, CSD Commander, RIA Depot 5. Okay. This is what he did. You see that?
That's a culture for you now. I
And
don't
the
know if
woman's
some
husband
people
is also a police officer. His name is Francis Tawin. Guess what?
Wow.
The woman's husband is a police officer by the name of Francis Tawin. He has written the United States Embassy. He has also written various human rights institutions. Hello, poor guy. Her husband, his name is Francis Tawin. He's a police officer himself. To disgrace his wife in this manner, simply because she was doing her job. They detained rice that was condemned. Ugly rice in a vehicle. And you know why this man king? The reason this guy went to the scene. Why, did you ask? Did I mention that part why trucking robbers went to the scene?
Nope.
Okay, here's why. Trucking robbers is a cousin of Mianta Yima, one of the ladies who owns the rice. That's talking about our cousin. That's a cousin, yo. That for a cousin business, he went and disgraced a police officer in this manner. But guess what happened? After the situation went down, guess what trucking robber? Guess what they did? The police officers at the depot, they called their bosses. They called their bosses. They called Unit 100, Patrick Sudu. They didn't get him. They called Unit 102, Melvin Sakol. Initially, they didn't get him. They called Unit 103. None of them answered. Eventually, 102 answered. Melvin Sakol. Listen to this. Hey, like, bro, we don't respect our people, especially people who are beneath also. Melvin Sakol eventually answered, and what did he do? Melvin Sakol went to the Melvin Sakol went there and he carried $50 to the woman to go for treatment. Waga, did you just hear what I said? Unit 102. Melvin Sakol. Melvin Sakol carried $50 US to the woman who they had just disgraced. Trucking robbers had just disgraced this woman, a police commander. He gave her $50 US to say, go to the hospital. I'm told right now, all the police bosses, they are trying to compromise the case. And they are threatening the husband. They are threatening the woman's husband, Francis Tawin, who is a police officer, that if he does not compromise the case, they will fire him. The man is saying he is refusing to settle the case, to compromise the case. Hey, Boaka. After they dragged this woman on the order of the EPS director, Trucking Robbers, that dirty fool, they in my inbox, I'm on the plane, because I traveled this weekend. I'm on the plane, and I told you, I can't talk to you now, but we can chat. But he denied the whole story. Then when I send the information, then he say, "Oh yeah, something happened, but it's not completely true the way they explain it to you." Then I send the picture of the lady. Talking around, never said another word, Baka. My man, they say a picture speaks 1,000 words, Baka.
Yeah.
A picture speaks 1,000 words. Guess what? Trucking Robert never said another word when he saw the picture of the woman's clothes. He never said another word. Then now they are threatening to fire the woman's husband, Francis Towie, who is a police officer himself. They gotta want him to. We're watching this case. We are watching this case. Tell Police Director Patrick Sudu that we are watching this case. We are watching this case. You better not fire that guy. Hey, but you don't try that one set. You don't even try that one. The man's wife was disgraced. The man is angry that you disgraced his wife who was simply doing her duty. Then you threaten to fire him because he's fighting for his wife. Man, y'all try that nonsense. Y'all will see. I would dare tell y'all will not even believe it. Trogan Roberts looked at me and wanted to lie to me. This is the picture that shot Trogan Robert up. You know the woman there? They tore the woman trousers. She was wearing Lapa pantsuit. You know, they made a trouser suit or a Lapa pantsuit. I remember it was a trouser suit, but this is pantsuit. Pantsuit. The pants and the top. They tore the woman's trousers. They dragged her. Turn around, was sitting in an EPS vehicle, and he said, "I'm gonna drag the woman to him." Okay? They dragged the woman to Trogan Roberts. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Waka? And he wanted to lie. But he lied. He said it didn't happen. When I sent him some of the information, oh yeah, it happened, but not exactly as you were told. When I sent him the picture, he had nothing else to say. It is just so sad.
LRB.
So sad. So very sad. But okay, let's go to the phone lines and take some calls. We're following this very closely. We're going to see what happens. If they fire this police officer, Francis Towie, who is demanding accountability that action be taken, you will see. I'm going to go crazy on the police. Patrick Suru, you did not do this, but you have a duty to all your men and women under your command to protect them. This woman, this police officer who was disgraced, physically assaulted by the EPS boss, action needs to be taken. Every day you're suppressing case. Every day you're trying to undermine a case, compromise a case, abusing people's rights. The big man is always protected. The little man has no right. What kind of country is this? What kind of country is this? Okay, let's go to the phone lines and take some calls there. I dare y'all to fire the man. Francis Towie. I dare y'all to fire Francis Towie. That time y'all will know. I dare y'all. I dare y'all to fire the man. The way I will go crazy on y'all will not even believe it. I dare y'all to fire Francis Towie. The man fighting for your wife, y'all abuse and y'all won't fire him. What kind of nonsense is that? Okay, let's go to the phone lines and take some calls there.
07701.
This is the kind of thing a good leader will fire them for. Anybody who tries to cover this kind of thing up, if I were president, I will fire you. The police should not abuse people's rights, but people should also not abuse the police rights. You can't go disgrace a woman like that, physically assault her. Then you threaten her husband and you're gonna fire him. If he doesn't compromise the kids, I know about it now. I dare you to fire the man. Let me catch you say your fire Francis Towie. The way I will drag her, y'all will never believe it. I dare you. I swear to God, if your mind born your good, I dare you. Bunch of stupid people. But let's take some calls there. They just made me very angry. Why are you threatening the man for? You beat the man, you disgrace the man's wife. Huh? In the line of duty. Then you threatening the husband, who's a police officer himself. Damn it, man. Let's take some calls there, boy guy.
077-012-102-102-86-010383 555-102-102. Those in the diaspora can call on the WhatsApp number. That's +231 888-624-171. Yeah, so those are the numbers you can call me up this morning, and you will be live with us here on the Costa Show. All you have to do, just place in your calls. I will take you, put you through, and you can have your stay. We'll get tournament spots 8 o'clock. It's not time for us to take some calls. So the phone line is open. All the phone line, all right. Let's see if we can take this first person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And where you joining us from?
Good morning.
Good morning. You getting me?
Yeah, good morning, Baka.
Welcome. Your name?
This is DJ Lume calling from Corwell.
Go ahead, DJ Lume. You're live.
Yeah. Look, Baka, thank you. Let me say good morning to him and Pedro Costa this morning for this story. Look, I knew these things were going to happen on a token hour because for one move I saw him make before, and then I continue to see these people in a kind of form. This is the time that President we are now, if they all is calling himself chief of femini, this is the time that he's supposed to dismiss token hour and any attempt from the police to do such a thing to dismiss that man. And I think this is the time we come out to protest. Because against our constitution, somebody can be doing the work. Even if you want to improve, there's a way you go there about beating somebody. Why? Disgracing in the public, and more especially a female police officer, it is wrong. Let's get anything. I want for the citizens, those that love President, we are more than themselves, or that love the government more than themselves, to come on and defend the kind of act. If I always was the sister or the mother or the daughter, this kind of thing happen to how would they feel? And you now hear them talking about it. The only thing they can condemn, they will say Costa, just one the negative thing, only the negative thing Costa can post. Only the negative Costa will not show the good. Which one of the good things that you ever done that Costa never posted? So we see the kind of country we're living in. People just love individuals, they love the country. That is the reason why like they look at the people. If I all the way now open, the people are dying, and I plead they want to die. And at the end of the day, we just can't say, oh, now they're coming for. If there was no plea, this is the kind of situation. So 2023 is so clear. Institution that like people eyes are open, God reveal anything for you to know what is going on. If you go there 2023 and go vote for them, that's your business. May God bless our country like God this morning.
Thank you so much, DJ Lume, for calling in and making your contribution this morning on the show. We still taking your calls 077-012-102-886 010383. Those in the diaspora can call me on the WhatsApp number. That's +231 888 624-171. We're still anticipating your calls here. Once you call, we'll take you and put you through the line. So if you're out of the country, +231 888 624-171 is the WhatsApp number that you can call, and you'll be live with us here this morning on the show. There's no call yet. We'll stay trying to take your calls. Just place them in. Any of the phone lines will take you.
I'm waiting for them to also deny that the situation with Royal Air Morocco did not happen. A responsible government will issue a statement. They will say there was a problem, there was an electricity problem at the airport, and as such, the Royal Air Morocco flight had to be rerouted. A responsible government would do that. They would take responsibility. Somebody would get suspended or dismissed for such a thing. That's what a responsible government would do. But no, they're not going to say a word. They're not going to say a word because they are not responsible. Something could have happened. That plane needed to refuel. Suppose the distance from Liberia to Sierra Leone was so far that the plane had run out of fuel. By the time they got to Longhi Airport in Sierra Leone, they had to refuel because they said the fuel was critically low. Critically low.
In case Longhi Airport was closed by that time, what will happen?
I say my souls told me when they got to Longhi, one of the workers there told them at the airport, "You are lucky. We were just about to close the airport because we're not expecting any more flights." Because that flight was not meant to go was not meant to go to Longhi. It was meant to come to RIA, pick up passengers, and then head back to Casablanca, Morocco.
Yeah, let's take this person on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, your name, where joining us from?
Brother, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Augustine Pajibo calling from the borough of Nukuta.
Welcome, Pajibo.
Yeah, Pedro, good morning.
Morning.
Brother, I want to ask you, where are the women group? So this thing did not happen. This thing did not happen to Claudia, so no women group coming out to protest, right?
No, it happened to police woman. The police woman not important.
Yeah, the police woman is not important. And you hear television coming on the radio opening that they're more talking about, and the Claudia were insulted and it's bad. But when it happened to other women, they don't care about it. Nonsense.
All right.
You made a good point, my brother. Brother Pajibo made a very good point. This is a police woman. She's an ordinary woman. She's not important. Yeah. But when I took my road book and talk nonsense there about Claudia, it was a big deal. And of course, what I did was wrong. But this is even worse than talking about somebody. This is physical assault on a police officer, a female police officer, by a senior security, state security, the head of a state security entity, the EPS boss. This is not just some ordinary guy. Trogan Roberts is the EPS boss. And to think that the police would collude and connive to try to cover this up, that Melvin Sakor, who served in the United States military, a former U.S. military president, would go, and where is your professionalism? You would go and give the woman $50 for treatment instead of investigating and making sure what Trogan Roberts did to that woman. This is the way Liberia is, but this is what hurts me about the country so much. The little guy is not important, poor guy. You are not important. Only the big people are important. This is how Liberia has always been. The little guy rights are not important. They can step on you, they can kick you, they can slap you, and you are nothing. The little guy is not important. You cannot build a country successfully, a country that is like this. Everybody is supposed to be important. Everybody is supposed to be important. This is the kind of Liberia that I want. And I swear to God, if a Joe Parker government cannot give me this, I will stop supporting him after he becomes president. I want a Liberia where everybody's right is important. The little guy, the ordinary person. How the hell, because you EPS boss, you can order the dragging of somebody's wife, a female police officer who is simply doing her work. And then her police bosses who should be protecting her. They're compromising the case, and then they're threatening her police husband who is taking the case up and is writing American embassy and writing human rights institution. Then they're threatening the man with dismissal. They're threatening to fire the man. You know, and these guys, the way they behave, they too came from nowhere. That's the thing about Liberians I don't understand. Liberians are so wicked. We come from nowhere. We come from absolutely nowhere. We're lucky we rise to the top. We forget that we too were down there some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, we were down there. We were ordinary people at some point. And people at the top treated us badly. Now that we are at the top, for us to remember our brothers and sisters at the bottom, we don't. No, we don't. We treat them the same way. Liberians are so wicked. You don't even realize how wicked you are. The Liberian man never remembers his brothers and sisters at the bottom. Look at the people today in power. Where do you think they came from? They were ordinary people. Only a few years ago, they had nothing.
Yeah.
Today, you think they care? They are rich people today. They live like kings and queens. Liberians are so wicked. You don't even understand your country. Look at your people. That's why I tell you, is he in the opposition? Sit down there and think that all the saviors are in the opposition. You are mistaken. Only one person I'm depending on. In the entire opposition, in the entire Joe Biden camp, the entire opposition, all the people, only one person I'm depending on. And that is not Benani Ure. That is not Yombly. That's not only one person. The man that will become the president is the one person I'm depending on. Joseph Yuma. You know why? You don't understand the way Liberia works. If the president wants to do right, if the president has the balls and the courage and the will, the political will, and the right heart condition to do right by the people, that president will do right.
Yeah.
It will not be because the people around him are good people. No. The president does not need an army of good people to do right. The president needs to be right himself. Just do right. Demand that the people honor you, do right. And those who take you for granted and do wrong, punish them, disgrace them, put them in jail. You will see what will happen. You don't need all your deputy ministers and all your ministers to be the right people. They will not be the right people. Just be right. You, the president, be right. Put them in jail. Disgrace them. Drag them and humiliate them. Do that to several people and you will see what will happen. That is why nobody should ever make an excuse for a president or for a leader. Oh, you can't blame a leader, that the people around a leader. No good leader. And if any of you make an excuse tomorrow for Joe Biden, if we see mess in the government, I will cost your mind and I will cost your power. I don't cost mind, I don't cost power, but that's when I will start costing your mind, costing your power. If y'all make any excuse tomorrow, oh, you can't blame Joe Biden, the man got good intentions for the people that are around him bad. I swear to God, I will be in trouble with y'all. The leader is responsible if and when it comes to his attention that his people are doing wrong and he condones it. He sits on it. He does nothing about it. He is responsible. You don't need your advisors to be good people. You need them to be competent, but you don't need them to be a perfect or straightforward people. You don't need that. You, the leader, you have a responsibility to set them right, to punish them, to disgrace them. By the time you disgrace a few people, you put a few people in jail. That one you will see. That one you will see. Don't tell me so, President Waka got good intention, but the people there around here, the people there are the people bad. You stupid. The leader is responsible. Don't make no excuse for no damn leader. Today, I fight for Joe Biden to be president. Tomorrow, I will never defend Joe Biden. When he is president of the Republic of Liberia, I will never, ever defend him. When he does wrong. Never you do that. Because now that he has power, it is time for him to show his juice. So don't got no say I got to defend the president. Oh, the president means well, but the people that are around the president are good. And you stupid, something wrong with you. In this case, we're talking robbers. What would a good president do? Fire drug robbers immediately upon investigating? Did the matter occur? Yes, it happened. Send people there right now. Okay, drug robber, you are suspended until the investigation is done. They ask the question, yes, you are fired. prosecute him. This is what you do. The police officers who were complicit, the senior ranking police commanders who went in, like the Melvin Sakor, who instead of ensuring that this woman's rights were protected and defended, he went and gave her 50 US dollars to go take treatment. Suspend him for doing that. Dereliction of duty. Failing to protect your men and women in uniform. But you all can sit on there and be defending the politicians because you like them. I will defend Joe Biden today because he's not president. When he becomes president, I will never defend him. His actions will speak for himself, will speak for him. You think a Superman can defend a president? I'd fought for you all this while to become president to prove yourself. Then you become president and I'll be fighting for you? Nonsense. I know that my man Sarah Burton bought me to be fighting for somebody who would be doing wrong. You know, some of you don't value yourselves. That's why you say Costa arrogant. My man carried me for 9 months. Maybe your man carried you for the same 9 months too. She bought me. She suffered for me. I got educated. I educated myself too to reach the level in life. My whole job in life that I was sit down there and be defending somebody, some politician. You think I'm a stupid man? When you do wrong, I will never defend you. Today, I will fight for Joe Biden to help him to become president because of my country. Because I want him to set Liberia on the path to fix the country. Because he has the integrity. Now I want to see whether he has the political will. Does Joe Biden have the integrity? He does. The political will is what I want to see, whether he has it. You know, you never know whether somebody has political will, Biden, until they have power.
Absolutely. I
know Biden has he has the compassion, he has the love of country. I know he has the integrity. But what I wait to see is the political will to act, to do what's right. So I'm not going to sit down there and when he's president, then I'll be making excuses for him. Oh, give the president some time. Somebody that did something very wrong. Then I'm sitting down there telling people on radio or somewhere in the community, give President Bouaga some time and let him adjust. There is no time. I will not give Bouaga 1 inch. The moment you're president, I will make no excuse for you. I will make no damn excuse for you because now you control the power, the authority of the presidency. Very, very powerful position. And you sit there, somebody do wrong, and you tell me, say, I'm going to give the president a chance to get adjusted. Costa, don't be too high on the man. That's how many of you are. That's why I can tell many of them who are supporting Joe Biden, many of you myself will not go nowhere tomorrow. Because I can tell them, you myself, we're not in the team for the same reason. Plenty of you are there for job business. Y'all won't be deputy minister. Y'all won't be minister. Y'all won't be director. I don't want any of those things. I don't. I don't. I want to see my country do well. A country where an international flight with passengers headed to the country 10 minutes before it lands. They're told that they cannot land and they have to reroute because there is no electricity at the airport in this 21st century. The kind of country we're living where, but this time, day not break, the airport boss still got job. You still get job. You still working. Whole plane with passenger from abroad coming in sort of land. In that land because they say they not get light to the airport. You still working. You fired. You're fired. You're gone. But there you go.
All right. So open the phone lines. We'll take some calls. 0770.
Useless.
Yeah. The WhatsApp number is on +231 888 624 Just coming up on the WhatsApp number. You will be live this morning on the show. Let's see
useless
if we can.
All of you who talk about proud life, bro. We don't know proud life, bro. We just love the damn country because that's where we are from. We're a useless country. That's where we are. Let's go back to the lines, Bouaga. We're just a useless country.
Let's take this person here. Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm okay. Your name are you calling from?
I'm calling from North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota. My name is Samukai Dole.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this is my first time calling on this show.
Go ahead, my brother. You're live. Make your contribution quickly.
Yeah, I just calling to say hi, man. I know, man, Liberia, our country is gone beyond.
Mama, let's take another call, man. You just called to say hi.
Yeah. Good
Thank you
morning.
for calling to say hi.
Good morning, Helen. Good morning, Baga.
Yeah, welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Timothy Smith calling from Grand Bassa. You know, I listened to Costa this morning, and this is what we're saying, because we don't want tomorrow when we put Baga in power, he be protecting Eddie Johnson setting, and John, we are them. When they say power, they forget, but we the people, because we the Liberian people, we need protection. Because we the voters right now in the country, we the cause, because people that will vote for them, that will put in power, see how they be warning us today. Today, now look at the foreign minister. He's saying power, Costa. So what kind of order? Only thing we need to do here is 2023, we get together and remove the people. And when it comes to the coming case, that coming, you should understand that without even thinking on him no more. When he guilty, he go to Maryland to go teach. I appeal to the judge. Coming should go to Maryland and teach for 3-4 years. Because we cannot get coming our country, because tomorrow he will change our constitution and we're getting serious problem. Today, we are facing criminals in our country. But today, nobody ever talk. They look at the church, they look at the traditional leaders, and all they are buying down to the president. And today, we the voter, we are the cause. And when we get recognized to vote, we are on the power 2023. We won't put Bogani power for us, we need opportunity, but we need protection. Liberian people need protection. Not to protect corrupt government officials, not to protect war law.
Okay, 1 minute per caller.
Thank you so much, Costa. Thank you for your show.
Okay, thank you so much. From this line. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Your name,
good morning, Costa.
Your name, where you calling from?
This is Jovial Stepson. Jovial Stepson on the line.
Go ahead.
Don't Pedro for long.
Welcome.
Mama, you threw us away.
Yeah, Mama, thank you for the show, man. Waka tell Costa I can monitor the show, man, but you know, they also can permit me to be able to be you all the time. I'm monitoring the show always.
Okay, my man, because you threw it away.
Okay. No, I'm threw away. And also that one not over that women with the post about. Okay. To the issue, Pedro. That thing you say about moral, and the reason why I'm coming to Liberia, I don't get moral. I must say I got my own personal issue. And why if I not get my printing, if I not get money to write Brussels, I can't call Liberia. It's better for me to stay. Pedro, I've been monitoring you. I can see the stress in you. The Liberia problem, Pedro. I beg you, go slow down with small. Continue to fight for we the people. That thing that they kill a woman, they do the one. Even they come to kill a woman. Nothing will come for inside it. La Liberia down there. Pedro, the reasons now I monitor the show. So now when I come from also I monitor the show, when I see you blasting, I say, hey, yeah, go, we are protecting the people out here. But the fact of the matter is that you trying your best for Liberia. But the Liberian election coming, you see, you will tell Liberians to do the one, they will not do it, they will take different road. And Liberia, the way you say, who cares? I know there's nothing different. I want laugh. They're just looking at that Pedro. So thank you very much for the fight. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't pray to God for God to give you long life. So tomorrow, for your own self to take the presidency, I don't know what you change. But all the people you're preaching for, until the Beoshi, well, for me, the only person I believe in are you. So thank you very much for monitoring the show. And I'm showing you a way back.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. Liberia needs to teach.
Pangomo, good morning. Welcome.
Hello, good morning,
Welcome, Pangomo.
That's what we need.
Hello? Yeah, there's a Gomo M. Kamara.
Go ahead, Pangomo. You are live.
Okay, thank you. They are so good. It's so good. Some of you people, they're sending that photo there to you. If those people can not look out for Liberia citizen, we live in hell. We don't find that's it. This is talking what they so. You hear it? The we are still so crying for hunger. And we all crying for hunger. Our right are being abused. The justice system are being manipulated by the president.
Even if you go to court, you will never win anything. If anything, you will win up. So the blood living on Scatterton state. Nobody in this country today that anything good for you. Besides their criminal act, injustice, selling things, get margin. Recently, that they don't want to call the police. They call red light. They say you should come by and sell for Christmas. And they go close the people's store there and close cold storage, calling their generator fuel finish. So many states, so many people poverty, damage, and it's going to tell you that it will be more. Now the human rights people come to get it, to stand on behalf of the citizens. They will murder all. Can you imagine everybody lose?
All right, Pango, thank you so much. You know, we have to make way for other people this morning on the line. Good morning, welcome.
It's going to tell you that it will be more.
Good morning, just lower the receiver, please.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, we have to take another person. Good morning, welcome.
Hey, good morning. Waka Kosa, how you doing?
We are doing well. Welcome, my brother.
Yeah, this is Uncle George. I'm calling you from Las Vegas. The situation that Kosa just mentioned about the plane, it was the same thing that happened. I can't remember the year, but it was during Charles Taylor time when Joe Taylor
with Joe Taylor
together with Water Panel. They came at around the airport and there was no power. The same thing, they had to turn around. Going back, they wanted to land somewhere. When they finally they said that somebody ran to the airport and then turned the generator on. So they told them to come back. The plane crashed and now Joe Taylor then died.
Okay.
We as a Liberian, will never learn. That country, like people who come abroad to learn and go back to do the right thing, as soon as they get a Liberia, it can disappear from their brain. So that's the irony about Liberia. Thank you for the show this morning. I just want to update you on the past situation.
Listen, Uncle George, Bwaga, hold on. This was 1999. This was a small plane. I believe they say the plane was owned by Dutch logging tycoon Gus Koverhoven. This plane was coming from Sino County. It had a number of high-ranking police officers and others on board. Joe Tate, police director at the time, Walter Pelham, he was a senior police officer at the time as well, and several others were on board this flight, this small plane, 1999. The plane was about to land, and there was no electricity at the airport. So the plane turned around, and they were going somewhere else to land. I think they said they wanted to make a beach landing. They wanted to, land on the beach. And before they got to the beach, I'm told, Cecilia Lewis and all those people were on that plane, Thomas Cora, thank you, and the plane crashed. And that's how they all died. So Liberians are stupid people. We've seen these things before, and they keep happening. An international airport without electricity, the brand new terminal, I thought they had brand new generators for that new terminal that they built. $50 million for that terminal. And you have no light. I mean, I know people who they drove. Yeah, the plane was coming from Maryland County. You're right. They had gone to investigate something. I think something had happened in Maryland County. Some kind of boyo business, Haman business, some kind of boyo investigation. They went for to Maryland County and they were on their way back. But this is disgraceful and this is embarrassing. It's too shameful to know that you come from a country like Liberia. I mean, you arrive at RIA, and if you're lucky and there's light there, and you're driving to Monrovia at night, the road is dark. Huh? The road is dark. No electricity. Narrow little road, dark. Accidents have happened over and over and over. Yes, that's true. They were coming from Maryland County. Alexander Clark Collins, it's true. They had gone there to do some kind of investigation into ritual killings. Maryland. I'm sorry to say, but one of the things they're most famous for is boyo business. In fact, I'm told, Bwagai, they had attempted to When they drove vehicles onto the airport, onto the tarmac, the runway, because that airport only has one runway. Liberia is so useless that we've never built an airport, international airport for ourselves. The Americans built that airport in 1942 or 1943 or thereabouts, when President Roosevelt was president. They built that airport to facilitate their North Africa campaign during the Second World War, which began on September 30th, 1939 and ended in 1945. The Americans used that airport to carry out their campaign against Mussolini's troops in North Africa, in Morocco, and in those other countries. That's why they built that airport. That airport was not built, it was not a commercial airport. It was built, it was a runway, and they built it just to, before they built that airport, before the Americans built that airport, in Grand Cape Mount County, the Americans brought steel mats in the Second World War. There's a beach in Grand Cape Mount. I'm just forgetting where that beach is. They put the steel mats on that beach. It was a very expansive. I didn't say expensive. I said expansive, wide. That's EXPANSIVE. There's a difference between expansive and expensive. Wide. There was a very expansive beach in Grand Cape Mount County, somewhere there in Grand Cape Mount County. And the Americans brought those steel mats. They planked those mats together. The warplanes used to land on the beach in Grand Cape Mount, and they would take off in Tala, Grand Cape Mount County. That is correct. I know my history. The American planes used to land there during the Second World War, during the early part of the Second World War, 1941, 1942. At the time, they hadn't built that airport. And it was not even called Roberts International Airport. That was useless Liberian governments went and named it Roberts International. When the American president came to Liberia, he stopped at that airport. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who became president on the 4th of March, 1933, and left office, died in office in 1945, and his vice president, Harry S. Truman, took over and authorized the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively, on August 6 and August 9, 1945, which brought Japan to its knees, the first time the atomic bombs were ever used in warfare. But let me go back to a little bit of Liberian history. The Americans used our country to fight against Mussolini troops. You had Emperor Hirohito of Japan, Benito Mussolini of Italy, and Adolf Hitler from Germany. They were called the axis of evil. And then on the other side, you have Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union. You had Winston Churchill of England, and then you have Franklin Delano Roosevelt. You call them the Allied forces. But back to history here. My favorite subject, history. When I used to read voraciously again. Now today I see people then be arguing. Look, let me tell you something. When we sit down here, the thing you learn in your head, nobody can take it from you. This is why you will go places and open your mouth. People want to listen to us. This is the one thing I can boast of proudly, unreservedly. The one thing I can boast of is my intellect, the depth of my intellect. But back to what I was saying, that thing was not built for your international airport begin. Liberia is so useless. When the war ended, the Liberian government said, but we're not building airports here again. The American people building one here. We'll just put one terminal near it, we said our international airport. That is how useless your people are. That's how useless we are. We said, but we're not building an airport again. Liberia, that thing has only one runway. The planes used to take off from there to go to North Africa to fight against the axis of evil forces, as Americans call them. We never built an airport. You see the free port of Monrovia? It was built by Firestone. In 1944, they built it to export their rubber. La Brazil, but we're not building ports again. The man, useless. We are a useless bunch of people. They say, but what we building port for? They put on big port already. My man, y'all eat the port money, man. The airport is about, you have one runway. Only one plane can land at that airport at a time. Begin, only one runway. When they were rehabilitating that runway, guess how they used to do it? They took me on a guided tour. When I said Ellington, because they got only one runway, guy, they could not shut the entire runway down to redo it. What they would do, they will rake, R-A-K-E, they will rake about 200-300 meters of the quota. Let me put it that way, the asphalt, the quota. They will rake it, they will move it from the ground. Then they will face the other quota, the fresh quota. They will cast it. Then they will pass it. Then they had a machine that can blow dry it quick. Because you can move all at a time, please when I land. They got to my man, you living in the house, you building the house. When you move the zinc from inside the old zinc, then you put a new zinc away quick so it can read the refall on you. That is how useless we are as a country. That wrong, only one wrong way. The Americans built that place. That's why when Franklin Delano Roosevelt went to Liberia, he never went to Monrovia. He stopped right at the airport to inspect that facility. And Tubman drove. Tubman was not president then because Tubman came to power in 1944. Tubman came to power in 44. That was Barclay. I think that was Barclay. Wait. Tubman came to power. Yeah, I believe it was Barclay. It drove to the airport to go see Roosevelt. That's how useless we are. We never built our own free port. The Firestone built it, we took it. The airport, they built it for the war. World War II. That place, World War II. Let's take some calls, man. Like, bro, you're useless, man. When I think of the country, I say, God, why was I born a Liberian? I don't even think like these people. Why was I born a Liberian? Jesus Christ, we are useless. We are too useless. Then you'll open your dirty muscle and you'll be talking about, oh, we had the other president. Apart from Willie talk about the one man who tried to make real change in Liberia, all the other presidents are useless people. Bunch of useless people. You don't know your history, that's why you don't even know. From the end of the Second World War, 1945, when Japan was brought to its knees in August 19, Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombing, August 6th and August 9th. After the Second World War, the Liberian economy was the fastest growing economy the second fastest growing economy in the world, second only to Japan. We were booming. Our GNP, gross national product, was much higher than that of Italy, the United States, Germany, all those countries. We were doing so well, but we did not develop. It was the greatest lost opportunity in the history of our country. Growth without development. We had a useless bunch of people sitting in power 27 years. They never developed the damn country. And some of you sit there and you're proud of the Tubman era because you're stupid. If you knew any better, you wouldn't be proud. We could have done so better. Why? How come Japan is today the third greatest economy in the world, biggest economy after China? China overtook Japan in 2008, but Japan was second for a long time. But Japan is still far more industrialized, far more sophisticated than China. And Liberia, which was second to Japan, is today the poorest country on the face of the earth. Are you listening? We were second to Japan in terms of economic growth. Without development, of course, Japan eventually became the second largest economy in the world. And where did we end up? The poorest country on the face of the earth. because we're a useless bunch of people. That is why we are where we are. Until you have a decent, effective, brilliant, bold, visionary leaders in power, you are going absolutely nowhere. Most of you will never see the inside of an airplane. Most of you will never own a car. Most of you will never own a house. Most of you will never experience what a good, decent hospital looks like. Most of you will never live to be 70 years old. I'm sorry, I'm not cursing you. It is the reality of your life, the facts of your lives as Liberians. Let's take a few more calls. We'll call it a day.
Wow, so that's it. The phone lines are open. Yeah, just placing your call now. We take like 5 more calls. Then we quit on today's edition of the show. Yeah. It's been a fascinating discussion this morning. So keep your calls coming in. 886.
I'm sorry for that, bro. I asked for many days, Lord, why was I born here? Why? But I don't take any more calls. Why was I born in this country? Why? Is there a real good reason why I was born in Liberia? Nobody is saying there's no corruption in the other countries. Corruption is everywhere. In the great United States of America, there is corruption. Corruption is everywhere, all over the world. But yet those countries are developing, they're moving forward. But look at your country, a useless bunch of people. In this day and age, you're struggling with electricity. Have you heard the president open his mouth to tell you what the government will do about electricity? No, he hasn't. This is if the president gets up and tells you, for me, by my government, the only thing my government will do with that big road, the other government can do the other thing. Can you imagine this? Do you remember the president saying that before, Pakai? No. That man opened his mouth one day and said, my government will only build road.
Yes.
How can you have a government that is a single dimensional government in terms of agenda? Only one thing you want to do, community road.
Community roads.
That's all you want to do?
Markets.
You pay stupid market building there. Eh? Then you pass around and you got other countries in the region doing great things. Eh? Hey man, you don't get light. You not get water in this day and age. All that sun you got that shines in your country, you can harness that sun into solar power and electrify that whole damn country, cut the cost of doing business in the country, attract investment and light manufacturing because of cheap electricity. Hey man, you don't got no water, all those rivers you got. You can't produce clean and safe drinking water for your people. Talking Liberians. We have VCO. Imagine we are 5 million. Suppose we were 25 or 30 million like Ghanaians.
I'm telling you, that's the problem.
We are such a useless people. Just 5 million people. We can't provide for 5 million people. Imagine if we were 100 million or 200 million like Nigerians. Hey, man, Liberia, man. Hey, Liberia. And some of you sit down there and you are so poor. Your minds, your mentality, your minds are so, they are so poor because you've been poor for so long. And so your mind is poor. You are incapable, inherently incapable of thinking big. You cannot think big because you're poor. You're born in a poor environment. You do not have the capacity to think big. So you think small. You are okay with the lack of electricity. You only complain for a while. You are okay with bad internet, no job. Some of you have never held a job in your life. Oh my God. Your mates in Ghana and Nigeria, young people building businesses, multi-millionaires, flying the world. Ghanaians, you go to Ghana, begin, you enter Koroga Airport, begin, you see the section where they got some of private jets. Okay? Private jets, Ghanaians. Hey man, man, private jets, Ghanaians in the private hangars at the airport, Koroga International. Look at you, Liberia. You're so poor that you think so small. That when one Liberian is trying to do well, everybody tries to pull him down because everybody wants to be kept at the same level We all gonna be pulled together. I'm gonna be pulled in. What I want, I let you get money. You will come down. Crab mentality, the crab in the bucket. But all of that can be changed. 10 years of solid, bold, visionary leadership can turn Liberia around in 10 years. 10 years, we can turn the country around. That's all we got. Papi Mo, we got Big Muff. Oh, Liberian man got Big Muff. When you hear them talking, big fish. See, every Liberian man can do big things. Look, Liberians are so good for nothing because this is a country that's not based on meritocracy. Everybody can do the same thing. We're the best talk show in the country. Some Sanama Swan will get up tomorrow and say he is the best talk show. Based on what? One guy, he will just talk. Somebody else will get up and say, I am the best this. I'm Liberian man get big muff. You mean Liberian man, you feel talking, you feel it. Look, that's all we got. Big for nothing muff. You know Fusa. You open your mouth, you start talking BBT. That is a way with Liberia. And you know why that's the case, guy? We seek validation. It comes from a place of nothing. We have nothing. Therefore, guy, to make up for having nothing, what do we do, guy? When you got nothing, what do? You try to tell yourself or to tell others that you are all that when you're nothing. That is what happens. A man who has nothing is the one who makes big mouth. Because you got nothing. I understand the Liberian sake. The Liberian man got nothing, so all you gotta do is tell the man to feel good. You seek validation from other people, approbation, and you tell yourself self-motivation and self-deception that you are it. That you are it. Yeah. I am this, I am that. Me, Liberian men, all day they do brag about themselves because we have nothing. We are poor, we are backward. We have nothing. Oh, God. Hey, Liberia. We're a messed up country. And you know, that's why I don't respect the people who've been in power. Because they have the country where it is. They spoiled the country. They messed up the country. When you sit down and talk about your history, you're celebrating 200 years, you're a bunch of stupid people. You're celebrating 200 years of what? 200 years of being the poorest country on the face of the earth. 200 years of no electricity, no running water.
Darkness.
200 years, a damn plane has to be rerouted to Freetown because your electricity at your damn so-called international airport that was built in 1942 by the Americans to be used to launch the North Africa campaign in the Second World War. Your one runway airport. I'm sorry for you. You better pray in your lifetime you have a good leader. A bold leader like a Lee Kuan Yew or a Jerry Rawlings or a Thomas Sankara or a Paul Kagame, absent his dictatorial tendencies and making opposition figures disappear. You better pray for that. If not, most of you will never ever see the inside of an airplane. Most of you will never own a car in your life. Most of you will never be able to travel somewhere for a vacation. Most of you will never own a house in your life. Most of you will never know what a real hospital looks like. Most of you will never live to see the age 70. I'm not swearing you. These are the facts of your lives. The Liberian reality. You think you're suffering because you're poor? You're suffering because your leaders are useless. That is why you're suffering. A bunch of useless son of a swine. That's why you're suffering. And they all know it. How long do you think it's going to take us to fix the electricity problem? Ellen came and took $350 million, borrowed most of it, wasted it into rehabilitating the 1966 dam, when we could have built a brand new dam or built a couple of small dams, or when we could have done solar power, or when we could have built a wind turbine or a wind farm.
Yeah.
We are stupid people. That's what we are. Be proud of yourselves. Beat your chest. Good for nothing country. When I tell you, then you say I'm cussing you. That is the truth about us. Look at Ghana there. Today, Ghana way better than we are. You know the Ghanaian budget? $16 billion. Your GDP is $2 billion. So how many times does your GDP go into Ghana's budget? How many times does 2 go into 16? 8 times their budget. I'm not talking about their GDP. Their GDP is about $46, $47 billion. That's their budget I'm talking about. Your whole budget. You're celebrating $785 million. Ghana got $16 billion budget. And you're celebrating, yeah, look at our budget. It was $787 million. Then you spend 89% of that damn budget on the government itself. When you could be spending that money into what they call economic multipliers. Huh? Economic multipliers. Do you know what economic multipliers are? I am not an economist, but I know what that is. In an economy, the things, the infrastructure, the things that help to generate economic opportunities and stimulate growth. Electricity, water, good roads, internet. That's what you call economic multipliers. Invest in things that will stimulate economic growth. You spend 89% of your budget on nonsense, 60% on salaries alone. You serious people? You serious people? You serious country? A stupid country. You serious country? I'm talking about laboratory where 786 million. Twitter just is constructing their Africa headquarters in Accra. Twitter for Christ's sake. A foreign company just built $100 million chocolate factory in Ghana. $100 million chocolate factory. You know why they even thought about building a $100 million chocolate factory in Ghana? Number one, because Ghana has electricity to power that damn factory. Number two, Ghana is one of the biggest producers of cocoa in the damn world. That's why.
Electricity.
Volkswagen is assembling vehicles in Ghana. Other car makers are doing this. Is a Renault. They're assembling vehicles in Ghana. You sit on there, you bunch of good for nothing people. You make big mouth. You go celebrate 200 years. Pastor, why you gotta celebrate? Over 65% of your population lives on less than $1.25 a day, according to the World Bank. Huh? You have one of the highest infant mortality rates in the world. More babies proportionally will die in Liberia before they reach the age of 5 because of easily curable and preventable diseases such as malaria, typhoid. More pregnant women will die in childbirth in Liberia because of what? Easily preventable and treatable complications associated with delivery, with giving birth. Huh? In this day and age, women are still carried in hammocks and wheelbarrows for miles to go to the nearest so-called health center. A despicable modicum of a health center. Huh? And you're boasting? How the hell you have a damn minister driving a $70,000 car in a country where most of the people live on less than $1.25 a day? That is a classic epitome and manifestation of wickedness. You're not ready. When you are ready, you will know. I keep asking God, why was I born in a useless country? Why not someplace else? Where my skills, my intelligence could be put to better use than to hide my head over a useless country. Why? That's what I keep asking myself. Maybe one day God will show me why. Until then,